Welcome to another episode of the Strategies for the Workplace podcast. Just a quick reminder that the book from which these articles are taken is now available on Amazon. And now, onto this week's article. Forecasting from historical data. Pretend you have been asked to forecast sales volume in response to a sales promotion. Where to begin? How you approach the problem varies with the initial conditions. Let's look at a common case, one where you have historical data of demand changes in response to promotions. The point is to determine whether you might benefit from historical data and can gather it, or whether you have a novel situation where historical data has no bearing on a forecast. Assuming there is relevant data to be had, in general, more data is better. On the other hand, markets evolved, and what was true some time ago may not be true today. Probably the more recent data, the more applicable. However, a major event may skew recent data. For example, if something significant changed about the product, competitive products or the company's brand, buyer behavior can alter. Another cause can be a macroeconomic change, such as a recession or a boom period. There might be a change in demand for something that triggers the demand for your product. For instance, if you are selling dishwashers and a big driver of demand is the purchase of homes, a change in that market can swamp any change in demand due to your offering a sale. Also, some effects are too small to have a meaningful impact on your specific promotion for your specific product. Assuming you have some relevant historical data, a simple model looks at how demand volume changed in the run-up to, during, and after past promotions. Probably you will want to look at change in terms of percent rather than absolute numbers, because the overall size of the market may be growing or shrinking. Thus, if in recent past promotions like what you are proposing have raised demand about 10% most of the time, and rarely less than 5% and rarely more than 15%, it is likely the pattern will continue. The narrower the range of past buyer responses, the more confidence you can have in the range of future responses. Conversely, the less consistent the past buyer responses, the less confident you can be in a range of future responses. Overall, with historic data, graph past behavior and try to discern a pattern you can use for prediction. Finally, no matter the forecasting approach, you may want to design promotions to generate useful information for future projects. This design might include offering different degrees of discount, perhaps in different markets and the like. The point is to prepare for future forecasting in the design of today's promotion.